Here I am, bigSHow theGod. Man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good. So I thought I'd make that a bit of a topic. It's kind of like a little bit of a update, but more of capturing how I'm thinking and then how I'm feeling about what I'm thinking. And kind of sharing and explaining how I got to it. And I've been feeling and thinking this way for a while. And I'm really able to frame it and establish exactly why and how I personally feel this way, regardless of what else happens. I'll put a bit of backstory in this. It would be 6 years ago, even longer actually, probably 9 years ago. 9 years ago, I went to Samoa. I was overseas with some friends, really good friends, and we were talking. And I would honestly say, because I talk about death, and I, 9 years ago, would say that if I died that day, I was happy as, I was content, I had done all sorts of stuff. I had experienced what I had experienced. I had lived. I guess I wasn't wanting. There was nothing I was sitting there wanting, no regretful kind of thinkings that I haven't had, or haven't done, or haven't achieved, or I had none of that. I just had. And I spent a long time thinking about that. 10 years ago, 12 years ago. So that's where my head already was. Okay? So when I speak about thinking I'm awesome, thinking I'm great, and all those sorts of things, it's kind of a way of just saying I'm very satisfied. I'm very satisfied. I didn't say I was perfect. I didn't say I didn't have stuff I wanted to do. I didn't say I had stuff I didn't want to do or do want to do. I do. I have stuff I want to do, stuff I'm keen on doing. Happy to go on more trips. Happy to spend time with people. All that sort of stuff. It was more from that kind of, I have zero regret. I have zero want. I like things. I'm keen. I'll take whatever else. So I have that already as a platform. Okay. So that's 9 years ago. So here I am now, and I have exactly the same view. Exactly the same view. Yet, I've now got the overwhelming sensations and excitement and feelings that I had then. I still have them now. You know, I was in Samoa. We were very comfortable with life. Me, the wife, the kids were growing at whatever. I think we'd taken them to Hawaii, LA. Actually, that might have come afterwards, actually. So that was even better, right? So everything I did, even then, a couple of years later, we went to. I took the four of us went to the States for a couple of weeks. That was brilliant, right? So that was on top of. And then the next thing was on top of. So it's adding to. It's always just adding to what's already there, right? So that's what I'm trying to say as how I live, and I'm always at a state of everything is just brilliant already, right? So I have no fear. I have natural fears of things, but I have no fear in the ultimate stuff. Zero of them. I mean, I'll be sad, I'll be upset, I'll be annoyed, I'll be frustrated. It doesn't get taken away. But that's not based on fear. It's not based on regret. It's not based on, yeah, I think those are the kind of the words I'm looking for. So why is that? Why do I have that? Because, I play sport most days, and I don't like losing. I still don't like lots of things. I'd rather eat all that food in the corner there, and yet here I am. And so, yeah, so that's how I'm kind of projecting out this feeling awesome, feeling exciting. That's what I mean by when I keep saying that. And so what's happening now, and it's always kind of been there, but I'm just sort of expressing it and sharing it, is from that base. They come from the bases of the pillars. I work a lot on the pillars that I've talked about a lot. That's the emotional kind of magnetism kind of thing that comes out of that base. It's just always hovering around. So every day is just great. It's brilliant. It's like clearly seen. And then I'm able to just absorb whatever else is coming in. And even when I go through these energy plateaus or energy shifts and changes, just part of the process, right? The tide's not always in. Sometimes the tide's out. I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with the tide being out. Tide's out. And fucking rest. And the tide's in. Get into it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I like that, that moving energy graph. And then, that's what I've got there. It's got that moving energy. But then psychologically and kind of mentally, I start getting, now what's happening is I've got this excitement for things. My excitement just builds. And it's been going on a long time. And so I have feeling awesome all the time, and then there's this excitement thing. It may be that I've got a trip coming up in 6 months. So it's just builds a bit of excitement. Because I'm preparing and planning for that. What's it going to be? What's it going to be like? I enjoy the whole process. The budget of it, the who's going, what we're going to do, where we're going to go, who we're going to see, what we're going to see. They all matter. How it's going to fit in. And then that's just bubbling along. It's like upgrading I might change something in this room. It builds, the excitement builds. I enjoy that. When I go to the gym, I get in there and the excitement builds as I go there. About, what should I challenge myself with today? What should I get through? How should I motivate myself? And it's all exciting stuff. It's what's great about these sorts of builds, these things building in the sidelines, like goals, like steps to your visions, like processes that I'm going through. I'm enjoying the process. Now what happens is things that are mundane, things that are boring. Just sitting here and looking into space, or just having a conversation with whoever. I enjoy that, right? The stuff I always do that's routine is lifted a little bit. If you understand what I'm saying. The energy is just that little bit more, because you've got that little level of excitement there all the time, the level of motivation, and it's very satisfying, yet long lasting. It's consistent. It's the energy stays around here. It's not negative energy just pulling away and just pulling me down. I don't even want to get up. You see, it's the complete opposite. Yeah, I might be a little tired when I wake up, but oh, hold on. Yeah, no, I've got heaps of stuff to enjoy, to get into. So get up. Might be a bit stiff, might be a bit whatever. And here I go, and I rock on. And I guess what I take a picture of, it's hard, right? Because taking a picture of, so let's do this here. Let's take a picture of one day. Every day has been a build-up of previous days, of previous states. So it's not, days are not thing. It's a constant state, but it's a constant state of moving. Time's flowing past me, regardless of whatever I do, and then I spin within that motion. So I'm moving within that motion. And then if I frame it in an emotional way, because I think I'm an emotional being, it's a piece of the factor. Once the mind understands that, the mind and the emotions then line up. So if the mind is anxious and always pulling in negative emotions every time I think of something, because it's not like I like everything, but if it's constantly bringing in negative emotions, I have to be able to deal with those. So if I'm flowing with positive emotions and reaffirming how great everything is for me, and that's why the gratitude thing and the affirmation thing, if you're constantly living that, no meeting, going to the dentist is exciting, because it's going to improve something. Having a difficult conversation with a sales rep or a manager or someone who, for whatever reason, it's not difficult. It is difficult, but it's not. It's achievable. It's doable. It's not procrastinated. It's not put off. Okay, let's get into it. So yeah. So I thought maybe I could take a snapshot of the day, but it's quite hard because, as I said, I'll take yesterday for example, only because I just wrote it down, and this is a typical day, but it doesn't look typical. But every day, so I've done over 300 days worth of journal notes here, and every single day of this journal has a piece in there, a key piece, a step, a value, a enjoyable moment within it. Every single one. That's whether I'm injured, whether I've had to fucking have a difficult conversation about whatever it might be. Everything in those days, though, highlights positive something. Well, these are true things and these might be how I'm feeling. And so today I've written that down as I'm talking here. So I'm feeling really excited about everything that is going on around me. And I list that it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things from yesterday. So I did a CEO update. I had a phone call with him because he's off site, and we went over a detailed amount of stuff that has been there for 3 or 4 years of stuff that we've been working through, and we had stuff come out of that. So that would normally been quite draining. There'd have been stuff in there that would have maybe pushed me back, would have knocked me around, because I can get fixated on the negative portion versus all the positive. And that's kind of the nature of anything. But I'm not. It was fantastic, and there was stuff in there. Don't get me wrong. It's not all plain sailing. Caught up with my daughter yesterday. Similar thing. Took her to lunch. Got out. How great is that? It's just fantastic. I've got the excitement building. We've got family. We're planning to have them come over. Got maybe 3 or 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Might be half a dozen coming over this weekend. That's building. How great is that? So we're planning, talking about what we're doing, and then some opportunities come up with another company for me to progress and look through. Some house improvements that we've got lined up. Some little bits and pieces, small stuff, but it just goes underlying. And this is one snapshot of yesterday. Travel, planning some travel. We're going to go to New York for a couple of weeks. Look, and there's Washington and thing, and maybe my son's going to come. Got a few other people that might be interested, but in the day I got a bones in it. But that's building. It's building. It's probably happening maybe September, October, maybe November, whatever. And then so on those, that's all happening. And then the time with my wife, it's even better, because we're blending this stuff in. These are the conversations we're having, amongst conversations that are out of our control sometimes. Sometimes people want to talk about COVID and talk about the news and who did what and well, this and this and that. All right, that's there. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking it too. But that's not the. It's not the overall. Those aren't the focus points for me. They don't shape me. What shapes me is that list that I just said to you. And that keeps pushing me through the next step. But I'm happy to talk exponentially on any one of them. I'm just conscious that it's because you want to talk about it, not because I'm bringing it up. I'm bringing up what's actually going on with me, and this is what's going on with me. If you bring up what's going on with you, and what's going on with you is COVID restrictions and what I can't do, and what this has knocked me around, and this is not happening, and I can't do that. All right, I can talk that with you, but it generally doesn't last. So yeah, I hopefully that kind of outlined this level of excitement that's building, and it's building all the time. That's what I'm meaning. I even watched Star Wars yesterday, and that has so much content, and it's gotten really good these days. So that's taken me. I'm just so enjoying it, and because I'm difficult, I get bored of the same old. But Star Wars has managed to blend in this kind of Western feel, this kind of with a fresh kind of look to it, and I'm just enjoying the hell out of it for what it is. So that even gets me going. It's kind of like I had this with Infinity Gauntlet, and that came and was building. There's a lot of crap in between, but the actual Infinity Gauntlet, it was a bit like Guardians of the Galaxy. When I get a good story and a good group, of that follows the story, I'm all in. I just enjoy the hell out of it for what it is. And I can, it's just my kind of, gets me kind of running. And that's what it is. It's kind of rinse and repeat. And then the simple things are really good. I'm building a team at the squash club. So that wasn't on there too. That's another thing. So yesterday, team meeting organised for today. I did about five phone calls to get that organised. So and that's just a typical day for me. And I know I come across and talk a lot about how simplistic and cruisy my life is. It's how I handle it. I don't need to advertise, how busy I am and how much pressure I'm under. Because it doesn't support anything. I don't care how much pressure you're under. That's your deal. I care about how much pressure I'm under. And then pressure is just something to work through. So that was a good one. I think I was glad I got that off my mind and got to digitise that with how I'm feeling today. And I've got a couple of tasks I want to kind of clean up.